One of the most profound gifts that you and I have received through our friendship is that of an infinitely safe space and container in our sisterhood where we can speak the unspeakable and we can claim the unclaimable. And in having that safe container, that opportunity to speak the fears that feel so personal, but once we air them, are so universal, we have had the capacity to unburden ourselves from the weight of our own humanness, the weight of our own fears of inadequacy and corruption and inability to be the divine beings that we truly are. And one of the things that we can offer as we hold space for other sisters who are maybe just a step behind on that same path or several steps behind on that same path is the opportunity to come courageously to do the hardest thing or the next hardest thing, to take baby steps of exposing ourselves and therefore allowing our souls to shine forth on that path to knowing ourselves as goddess more and more.
Mm, it's so beautiful. And that's it. I think that is the work. To really to really own that we are goddess means all of us is goddess, means our trauma and our challenges and our struggles in this life have been the exact training and preparation that we needed to become more fully who we are. And I think that's the real radical reversal that's required. Instead of trying to become something else, any fill in the blank identity or role that we think is good and valid, and setting ourselves up against some external measuring stick, um, is such a disservice to what we're really here for, which is to become ourselves, uniquely, perfectly, divinely us and all of us. And in order to express the highest version, I think we have to be brave enough and willing to sort through all the shadow parts that are also us and also goddess. And when we have that safe space to recognize that there is medicine, even in the trauma, even in the hurt, we can reclaim and repurpose that energy and step into our fullness. And I think that's in some ways the hardest part of this path, but it's also the most rewarding to recognize that there are no bad parts. And in some way, from the highest level, there are no mistakes either. If we can really honor every step of our path and see that it was path, we can mine the gifts of our experience and use them for growth rather than being stuck in them. For me, that's a huge part of this work, and really claiming goddess in her fullness, both light and dark, has allowed me to understand the fullness of cycles in which every piece serves destruction that serves to feed life. Life feeds on death. And the composting of that which is old and has served its purpose is such an essential component of continuing in our growth cycles and continuing this beautiful wheel of life and death and rebirth that is the merry-go-round of existence, that is the fodder of story. It's been one of the greatest gifts of my life to have this safe space of our sisterhood, to claim the fullness of me and to forgive myself and to give gratitude to myself and those parts that I so cast off thinking they were less than or wrong, to see in the loving reflection of my sisters that commonality, universality of experience, and acknowledge that all these parts have their purpose and we can claim the medicine of each moment of our lives when we really are brave enough and strong enough to open our heart and discern what can be gleaned from any given moment.